Hello, my name is Chris Bremacher, and I've written a book called Song for My Baby and Other Stories. That's it, that's the book. It's published by Unsolicited Press. There's their name, Unsolicited Press. They're located in Portland, Oregon. And there's the motto of the book, Living Well While Mentally Ill. There are a lot of stories in the book. Basically, let me preface the book by saying that I'm schizophrenic, bipolar, and alcoholic. I'm living with schizophrenia, I'm living with bipolar disorder, and I'm living with alcoholism. And through it all, and it's been about 40 or 45, 50 years of mental illness and alcoholism, I've done very interesting things. I've downhill skied to excess probably. I've played handball. I've reviewed theater. I've driven cars. I've had in the book there are 3 stories about cars. In fact, the title story, "Song for My Baby," is about a car. Baby is a car. And then I was also my mother's caregiver for 17 years. She incurred Alzheimer's disease at the age of 65 and then died at the age of 87. I was her caregiver the whole time. I also wrote a lot, as you can imagine. I'm a writer, and I do a lot of that. I still write, even though I get published. I've been published twice. This is my second book, but this is my big book, and I'm very proud of it. It took about 10 years to write. The first story is a novella about my father's death in Canada on the duck hunting trip, which never happened. It's pure fiction, but it was written 30 years ago, right after his death. I was grieving when I wrote it. So I was inspired by, if you want to say it that way, inspired by my grief for his death. And then I had a heart attack. There's a story about the heart attack in the book, and I couldn't write after the heart attack. And a friend of mine at the Veterans Administration helped me rebuild my ability to write. So the first 15 stories in the book are about that, not about her necessarily, but about the involved the first half of the book, which are the 15 stories she and I worked on to rebuild my ability to write. I also had a relapse on alcohol. I had been sober for 25 years and I relapsed, and there's a story on a relapse in alcohol. I've been, for my mental illness, I've been hospitalized 8 times. There's stories about that. And I've been in all 3 veterans homes in the state of Minnesota for about 6 months apiece. And there's stories about that. There's a story about a Muslim girl who was a friend of mine. She still is. And she, at any time in the airport, Minneapolis St. Paul Airport, she's the most beautiful woman there. And she was an employee. She was a janitor, and there was nothing else to say about her. She was just beautiful. Everybody knew it. What else is in the book? There's a story about a laptop. Why is a laptop such a big deal? Well, I thought I had recovered from my illness, so I went out and bought a laptop to celebrate. I could look in the book and see what else is in there. There are about 40 stories. It's characterized by great variety, and I'd like to read the back of the book just for a second, just to get through this, and then I'm going to leave you. Okay, so hang on for a second. I'll read this to you. "Song for My Baby and Other Stories" is best described as a work with great variety. What begins with a sudden demise of a father on a hunting trip transforms into a collection that deals with mental illness, hitting bottom, and an appreciation for those who stick around in the worst of times. Bremacher takes readers for a ride with no degree of certainty. From a high-stakes golf game to pay off a son's cocaine debt, a dating service that results in 12 dates in 12 months, a kidney transplant, a heart attack, a relapse on alcohol, to years in and out of psych wards and veterans homes, the book shifts gears from story to story. I'm going to leave you. I try to just speak about the book. My inclination is to speak about myself. You'll find that people have seen psychiatrists and psychologists for 50 years like to talk about themselves. I'm going to try not to do that. God bless. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you buy the book. One more time. One more time. Song for My Baby and Other Stories, Unsolicited Press, www.unsolicitedpress.com. Buy the book on Chrome. It won't work on the other browsers, but on Chrome it works beautifully. Hope you buy the book. Hope you get through COVID-19 like everybody else. This is my third week of isolation, and we'll see you later, and we'll see you all when we get together after this is over, whenever that is. God bless and thank you. Goodbye. Good night.